What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bonsaitalk. This will be the first ever question and answers that we are doing on the show, and you are most welcome. So over the past year, we got like tons of questions, and I want to address some of those questions right now. The first question is from Caroline Vestman from the US. There's something I'm kind of confused about. When starting a bonsai from a small, younger plant, is it best to decide what size you want your bonsai to be, or let that plant grow to at least the desired height and then start training? Or can you make it look nice while small too, and somehow allow it to get bigger while still looking nice, if that makes any sense? It's tricky to plan out what I want to do with the tree before all of its even height and branches are to work with. So in order to address your question, Caroline, I think it's important to understand that a bonsai goes to different phases of its life. It's a tree, so it will always grow, It will never stop growing. When working with a really young plant or a desired material that you want to make into a bonsai, you should create the ground structure first. Don't focus on refinement, don't focus on details, just focus on setting the ground structure, the first structure of the tree. Just find the rhythm of the tree, connect that with harmony, balance, proportion, optical illusion. All of those important things in bonsai is what you should look for. The bonsai will not always look good. There will come times when it's out of proportion, it's out of silhouette, it's very leggy. Really old bonsais, they will not develop that in that fast rate like a younger plant, for example. And that's also one of the reasons why you not repot old bonsais too often. Let it grow, cut it down, let it grow again, then cut it down, and so on, in order to create that compactness and to create that nice shape of the tree. I hope that answers your question. Next question is from Celine Schittler from Germany, and it goes like this. Hello. First of all, I'd like to say how much I appreciate your channel. It's a great idea to connect bonsai fanatics all over the world via YouTube to share ideas and thoughts and experience. Thank you. Well, thank you, Celine. Now I show you my 20-year-old Carpinus betulus my parents gave to me last year. Over the summer months, I let it grow to get thicker branches. In spring it will be repotted. What's your opinion? How shall I evolve the tree in the next years? What would be the step that you would go to next? I hope to hear from you, Celine. Okay, so Carpinus betulus is the same thing as a hornbeam. I think it's pretty good material. It has nice movement in the root surface and in the nebari section. We have a lot of refined branches. It looks like it's been growing in a bonsai nursery for some time. Just to be criticizing you in a constructive way, when spring comes around, I think that you should lay out the branches. Try to find that proportion, that harmony, that balance in the whole flow of the tree. You need to wire the tree so you can get a sense of where you are. Pull some of those back branches to the sides and create a more feel of depth to the right here, because it's very empty in the right section. Remove those parallel branches and all the branches that are growing inside of the curve to accentuate that flow and that rhythm of the tree. That's very important for bonsai design, basic bonsai design. But start with wiring out the tree so you can remove all unwanted branches that are destroying the composition. Next question is from Chris Jennings in the UK. This tree will be repotted and secured in spring as the former owner had not wired it in. However, as I've reduced my watering regime over winter, the bulb eased out of the pot and I observed the below. Should I be concerned with what seems to be a fungal issue? Thanks in advance for any views or opinions. Alright, Chris, so what this is a fungus that's called Mycorrhiza. And this looks nasty, but it's actually really good, because what this fungus does is that it's working in symbiotic in assimilation with the root system. It's actually helping this pine's root system to gain nutrition from the soil. So every time when you see this white stuff in the pot, in the root system, you should save some of this, grind it down, and mix that together with a new substrate when you are repotting this tree, because this is really valuable. The pine tree actually needs this in order to survive. So by looking at these pictures, Chris, it looks like your tree are very healthy at the moment, and that's just absolutely fantastic. Next question is from Caleb Song in Australia. What's up, Caleb? Your Yamadori hunting video was very cool, and I wish I could do the stuff like you do. Yamadori hunting is not really legal in Australia because it's all protected. I got all of my knowledge of bonsai from YouTube and the web. Please keep making your amazing videos. PS, were you self-taught or did you get trained by a great Japanese bonsai master? Yes, Caleb. I was trained by Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid movies. No, I was not. I have taken a lot of advices and experiences from people all around the world during the past years, but I started this journey completely alone. Actually, I don't want to consider myself as a master or some kind of great individual that knows everything about bonsai, because that's just stupid. I think that to become a master, you must always be willing to learn. A tree is just as intricate and complex as a human being, if you ask me. I do know a lot of things about bonsai, but I'm still learning, and I want to learn. Next question is from Kim from the US. How long does a juniper stay dormant during the winter? It's been freezing here for about 2 weeks, so I have it covered, but I know that it needs to be watered. I'm worried that if I do water, the water will freeze and kill my tree. Please help ease my mind and give me some suggestions on how to help it survive. If it has been freezing for a long time, you should not water the tree at all. That's actually very dangerous, and that can result in the roots actually dry freezing and dying. Like we talked about in our bonsai winter care video, you can always use snow as a natural system for watering and as isolation. So just cover the bonsai with snow on the soil level. With time, as the temperature drops or get higher, that will naturally water the bonsai. So you will keep a very steady balance of fluids in that way in the container, in the pot. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is from Lars E. Kirpin in Germany. In a raised garden bed, I have sown various seeds, maple, oak, etc., which I collected in the fall with my children. So it will be exciting for me in 2018. For your brilliant YouTube channel, I would also have a great idea to bridge the winter time. How about carrying out tree discussions and presenting your ideas for designing the tree? I'll send you my beech, which I dug up with a friend in the garden this year. The beech has grown well. I would be very happy about design proposal from you, and I'm curious what you think of my idea. Anything that you're up for and you want to ask me or show me, just send that to me. I would like to see it all. So the first thing that I see when watching this tree is that it has no movement whatsoever in the first stages of the trunk. And that's not so much because a flaw in the tree, it's more of a way that we are viewing the tree right now, because it has two big parallel trunks and all of the eye's attention are going in the middle of that area. So we need to remove that symmetry by reducing one of the trunks and letting one other trunk be the dominant part, I think. Just get that asymmetry, Lars. Try to create more depth in the composition, because it's way too symmetrical right now. It's like this and then this. So we need to remove that to get a feeling of a tree. Don't start to style this tree too early, because it is too early. It needs to grow, it needs to get developed branches. There's probably 10 different ways to style a tree like this, but I think that's one of the most obvious styles that you should go for. Next question is from Murat Yilmaz from Turkey. Hi there. I acquired a burning bush too, and whilst collecting info on it, I ran into your site. Beautiful piece of nature, that burning bush. The roots of mine must be really wide and large by now. Did you trim the roots of your back at all for a smaller pot? Yes, I did. Do you advise doing it step by step, like first trimming smaller and next season even smaller, etc., or just trim the roots back all the way and start training? Tack så mycket för sharing. All the best, Murat. If you have like a big taproot, for example, or a big lump right under the tree, remove that as soon as possible if you have a lot of other roots to support the system, because that's not good and that will weaken the tree with time, because you want to plant the tree in training as shallow as you can, right? You want to remove the height of the root system and get it more shallow and wide. Try to flatten the nebari, the root surface, as much as you can. Look for those small suction fibrous feeding roots. If you have a lot of them, I mean, you can chop it down like 40-50% at least. Next question comes all the way from Indonesia actually, and this is from Putu Vaihuya Arimbava. Hi Johan, I'm one of your followers, subscribers. I enjoyed your video, especially your Yamidori video. Herewith I send some of my bonsai collection. That's cool. And I would like to ask, how can I get European native trees or Swedish native trees to make bonsai? I hope you enjoy it. I think it's pretty foolish to just import a Swedish native tree or a European tree without having deep knowledge about the situation in the environment and in the climate when it comes to Europe and Indonesia. There's a big difference between temperate trees and the dormancy that they need and semi-tropical and tropical trees. An indoor bonsai cold system, I don't know, you can put them in the freezer and install lights. I do like your thought process though. What you could do is to try some seedlings and try with those first. If they succeed, great, they will succeed. If they don't, they don't. Technically, I would imagine that you could create some kind of cold frame, some kind of temperate system to have the trees in with lights to simulate, winter. I mean, why couldn't you? I have built a complete system built around semi-tropical and tropical trees, and I live in Sweden. I hope that makes sense. Interesting question.